Hello everybody and welcome to yet another brand new Let's Play, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. At least with this game, getting the logo for this one might be a lot easier. So I could always either start with this game or game 3. I'll just fucking erase this one, who cares. So yeah, I have actually 100% of the game before, back in the past. We're playing on the Switch one, if you couldn't tell, because, well, funky mode, first of all. But I'm going to... See, it says you can choose funky mode. The mode you choose... Okay, so if I'm pretty sure that's like an absolute... Yeah, it basically is just stuck playing funky. Which, I think that's... I'll argue... Sorry. I will argue this and say that's still fine and cool. I think my... I still think that's a neat concept to have. I don't mind having something like that in certain games, and it really depends on the game too, because I'm still very adamant about games like Souls, like Dark Souls and stuff, not having an easy mode. But with games like this, like, I mean, it's a platformer. I mean, you know, it doesn't really hurt me much because I can still play normal mode just fine. Same thing with Mega Man. Like, if I really wanted to play the game the way I wanted to play, I could do that. Now, if it destroys an artistic vision, say like Souls, for example, having an easy mode, if that destroys an artistic vision, then I'm just... To me, that's just... No, that's not good. So... What about... actually, that... I'm going to try to segue a little bit here into something else, but... When it comes to rewind feature, I've always been kind of okay with it, because there's a lot of games that I play that have rewind feature, and I'm like, fuck it, you know? Like, oh, well, save feature or whatever. Some games are like, it makes the game much more enjoyable, because then I don't have to suffer sometimes, I guess. I know if Mike Matei heard this, he would come to my house and probably, you know, deck me in the schnoz, but I don't mind rewind feature to an extent. If it's like an arcade game or whatever, and it has like unlimited continues or something, then, you know, fine, sure. Because arcade games are just a pain in the ass. But, I mean, as long as you don't take away the original way of playing the game, then I think it's not a big deal. But, yeah, so funky mode being added, it's fine. Also, I did used to actually have this game on Wii U. I don't think I have it on Wii U anymore. I think I actually sold it because... I bought it on Wii U because I'm a country fan. I like country games, right? I think these are a lot of fun. I bought it on Wii U when it came out, I believe. And then I played it, beat it, of course. And I think I was working on trying to do 100%, but then I gave up. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about the levels. I just don't like them. And it's been a while since I played this game. So things could change. I know for a fact that World 2 is going to suck because it's just nothing but water. It's either World 2 or 3, I don't remember. There's like, I think 5 or 6 worlds anyway. Still a pretty lengthy-ish game, but for the most part, it doesn't have as many worlds as Returns did. They had like 8. And this, by far, is one of the best parts of the entire game. This beginning section is like one of the coolest sections. It has like that... Well, just the pumping music and everything. Like, you guys can't probably hear it, but it is such a cool introduction part. And then the funny thing, well, the annoying thing, well, before we do all that, we can go back here and grab a balloon, because classic DKC style, which I'm curious. If we slam in front of those TVs, yeah, that does do something. All right, cool. Well, that's Returns right there, so I don't know why. Huh, alright. Now, I want to say this game came, like the Switch version of this game, I think came after Returns 3DS. But anyway, yeah, the first part of this game just drops you immediately right into a water section. And I think the reason why they probably do that is because, I mean, one, it's tropical freeze, and two, they probably just want to give you a feeling of how water works. You do have a air meter, so... It's not like, you know, the original games where it's just completely fine and dandy without that having to breathe underwater. We've basically become Sonic the Hedgehog at this point. Or Mario, except for 2D Mario, because, you know, that still thrives with that concept alive. But anyway, if you guys are, you know, familiar with DK returns, you'll probably end up most likely being able to familiarize yourself pretty well to this game. Which one I like better kind of just sometimes depends on my mood. But I typically always argue that I do tend to enjoy, that's the intended way of getting that, I do tend to enjoy returns a lot more than this game. This game also adds something new I forgot about too, which is the grab feature. Well, you can grab in most DKC games, but I mean, there's a new feature where you can grab things from the ground or whatever thing you can unplug or something. I don't know. Something else I think was like 200% was a big thing. I don't remember if that was technically added or if that was a thing that we had beforehand. You know, I'm gonna play smart. Says the guy that nearly fucking rolled right into that like a dork. I'm gonna let this guy do his thing real quick, and then I'm gonna do my stuff. But yeah, there's other things that have been added to this game, but there's a lot of things that have been taken away from returns that still kind of exist. Regardless, this is why I'm pretty sure they want you to have Diddy here. You don't technically have that Diddy with you, but you could still technically use him, and he's extremely viable. Diddy is pretty much the same way that he was back in the original game. I don't know why that creature showed up. I don't think there's anything up there. I don't think so. And I want to say, I can't dead on remember if there was anything I need to find besides this letter. I will check these though. So yeah, I also think slam, the banana slamma move, I think being used on things like this. No, that's not really new. What am I talking about? We had things like that back in Returns. Yeah, I don't know. You'd think I would remember. Oh, okay, these things, these are technically new. These banana things that kind of pop up. They have to like collect a certain amount of bananas and then just go with that. But yeah, you can tell like there's this other bar that's completely new as well, and that's pretty much like your banana super power bar thing. I forget exactly what it's called, but I'll show it off in a second. I kind of like how this one gives you 2 shots per to make your move here. And if you just wait to the left, you can get the letter N, blast off, and then you have to wait for the balloon to pop up here. I kind of remember this level for the most part. We bounced like a few trees, and then we're back into the action. And I think going to left here should... Okay, well, can I blow on that? Wait, can you not blow anymore? Oh, they got rid of the whole blowing shit. Honestly, I'm kind of glad. I hated that mechanic back in the day. But yeah, L and R does not... L or R does not grab anymore. You have to use ZL and ZR for that to work. But if you do this, L and R together, you can transform these guys into 1-ups. So, yeah, Diddy and DK together have a combination attack, which allows them to basically turn enemies into free balloons. It's literally free balloon day. It's honestly a good thing to have. You just get it back by basically getting bananas. Technically speaking, I'll be honest, like this game, mechanically speaking, is a fantastic game and probably one of the best when it comes to DKC type mechanics. I still always prefer, you know, the original 3. I will always probably still prefer the original 3 over Returns and Tropical Freeze. However, arguably, this game does technically feel a bit better than Returns does, especially compared to the Wii version of Returns, which, admittedly, like, I like the Wii version of Returns. It's just that I'm not a big fan of Wiimotes much anyway, so nothing wrong with Returns on Wii. It's just that, like I said, I much prefer just more nifty, I guess, mechanics that don't require me to slam my hands in the air and make my titties bounce. You know, I don't know. When you feel your titties bouncing, it's like, ugh, you're doing something wrong. But another new thing is you have a little banana icon there on the top left that basically tells you how many bananas you have, rather than just, which I think that was new. I believe so. Not like it really matters, but you can just clearly outright see your thing here. And you can also get through bonus stages a lot faster, too, it looks like. You can just skip through them. You can now grab enemies. I don't remember that being much of a thing back in the original game. Barrels do about the same thing as they always did. You kind of get the aspect of that. The DK barrels. But there's something that you probably have noticed. And yes, it does say DD and not DK. So you might be, you know, some people that might be new to it might be like, well, duh, I mean, that's Diddy Kong. You know. They kind of want to make it obvious that it's not just DK. Because that'd just be DK. Because that wouldn't make any sense. Well, yeah, fair. But at the same time, I guess I missed a puzzle piece somewhere. At the same time, there is other characters to play with. Which, that was like the big selling point, even for me, when this game was coming out. I was going to buy it anyway, but the biggest selling point, I would argue, for this game had to have probably been the amount of characters that you can play. Also, I keep forgetting, this is an updated version of the game. Yeah, because like this game, again, came out on the Wii U. And like I said, I played it on the Wii U first, and then I think I got rid of my copy. I think so. I think I sold my copy to buy this copy, I think. Or not particularly to buy this copy, but just kind of like trade it in and be like, well, I don't really need fucking the Wii U version because it's the fucking Wii U version. So why would I care? Also, yeah, make sure if you see water that you go down and you go check it out, because, yeah. Anyway, time to talk about things. So, I plan on this Let's Play for now, currently, to be one of maybe possibly 2 last Let's Plays for just a little while. I'll probably continue to do Paper Mario in its own time. However, I feel like with DKC and one other game, which I'm fine with spoiling it, I don't really care. It's just that I'm not sure if I really want to do it just yet, but we'll see. But I plan on doing, most likely not co-op, but just probably by myself. Oh yeah, here's Dixie. So Dixie, yeah, each character has like a different move set. So Diddy can just hover, and then Dixie basically just gives you a free double jump. Really awesome. Definitely, in my opinion, probably one of the best characters of the game, to be fair. I don't remember if there's anything I need to throw anybody at. Sometimes if you see something you can throw, it typically means that there's probably something you can throw it at. It doesn't happen all the time, but still. Also, the mechanic of jumping on 3 enemies or just jumping on enemies like 3 times in a row will net you, you know, medals. But anyway, the other Let's Play in question that I would like to do would be Onimusha for... Well, probably I'll probably do the modern remastered version of it. I don't have Genma Onimusha. I don't have... What the fuck am I talking about? I have the PS2 one. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm about to say the PS2 one. Like, yeah, you have that dumb shit. You just don't play very often. I do have the PS2 one. As cool as that would be, just getting my PS2 to work and then just getting the game to work, which I'm pretty sure the game works. It's just... My PS2 likes to be stubborn a lot of the time, so I'm not gonna... I don't really feel like messing with it. We probably should have used that. I guess I think there's probably something we probably could have grabbed onto. I'll show off Dixie's little special banana move soon. I just want to go back and make sure there's nothing, of course. That's the thing with this game, though. Like I said before, if you do see water, there's probably something under there. Now, I don't remember exactly. I think, yeah, I was going to say, Dixie has a move where she can do this. If you hold down A, you can basically just fast swim there. However, if you have a partner on you regardless, I believe, regardless of what partner you have, will allow you to fast swim anyway. Kind of like if you were just having a constant roll like you normally could. So, yeah, there's that. But anyway, I don't know if, like, Onimusha was, like, the one I really want to do, or if it's, like, maybe, I don't know, RE4 or something, or maybe, like, Ninja Gaiden Black. It could be a number of things that I might particularly think about wanting to do. Possibly. Who knows? Also, I'm pretty sure these things have changed to look like, well, snowflakes. Because, I mean, it's Tropical Freeze, right? So, yeah. I keep mentioning it, but yes, check every underwater area that you can. It is quite irritating that there's tons of water in this game, but to be fair, to the game's credit, this is, in all technicality, Tropical Freeze. Alright, so yeah, real quick, this mechanic is extremely good. And if I told you about Cranky Kong, Well, I'll tell you what his ability is first. Like, what his jump ability is. Because, like, everybody gets a new jump ability. Going back to it, Diddy Kong gets the hover, like he did in the original game. Which is awesome. Dixie, obviously, as shown here, gets a sort of, like... Not really hover, kind of, but, like, just a... It's just a double jump, for the most part. It's like a slight... Yeah, basically just double jump. Cranky Kong, however, works in the same way that Scrooge McDuck kind of works when it comes to the DuckTales game. Which, by the way, is a pretty decent game. I've beaten the remastered version. I've never really played the original one yet, but... I have thought about it because I've seen it on sale, like the Disney Afternoon Collection on sale a few times, and I thought about it. It's like $5 or whatever. I'm like, I probably should. It's like $5 fucking. It's not gonna kill you. But then it's like, well, I don't know if I really want to play it. You know, I'm not really that interested in playing it right now. That kind of thing. And I've beaten the remastered one. But anyway, if you're familiar with that style of play for Scrooge, then you'll be quite at home when it comes to Cranky Kong, because he works relatively the same way. These guys take about, like, yeah, I was gonna say like 2 hits to kill, but made a liar out of me with 3. Now, when you think Scrooge McDuck, you typically think money, and, well, yeah, what's the currency in this game? Well, obviously it's going to be, not bananas, but metals. It's going to be banana metals. So it makes a lot of sense for, in all technicality, a character like Cranky Kong to allow you to get more metals. But then again, you could also say, well, that's like the last thing that would make sense to collect. Like, why would you want to collect bananas? Because bananas give you your meter back. Why would you collect literally anything else? You know, you already got lives. That's a collectible. You got this extra, like, double heart thing now, which is extremely helpful. Also, that reminds me. Oh yeah, for this area, you need to have Dixie to go through here. There is a thing in this game. 100% in this game can be kind of a pain in the ass if you're not careful. And the thing is... Let me just... Oh yeah, that's right. That just opens that up. Which I think you can just... I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you can just go back. Let's just do that. So, just to show it off, I might not do it for every single one. If I find them, then I find them. This game handles secret levels a little differently, and I totally forgot about that. But there is a thing where this game basically just essentially, like I said, handles secret levels in a much, much broader way. Pretty much, you find them in the level themselves, and then you just take off, and, well, voila, you win. I'm pretty sure this thing is still random as what it gives you, I believe, so, should be. But anyway, you can technically beat an entire level a lot faster than you normally would if you were to go find a secret exit. Now, what do secret exits offer us? Well, what do you think? Secret levels, but before that, basically Cranky's shop, but now it's been turned into Funky's shop. So you can buy 1 life, you can buy, I think, 2 lives that come with it. There's like, this one's I think like 3 or 5. Oh, that's air. Oh! This is... I'll get into that in a second. This is just an extra heart you can equip. This is, of course, the banana juice from the original game, where you can pretty much just have invincibility for a while. This one is for, like, minecart sections and stuff. You can extra heart in those. Squawks tells you where puzzle pieces are at. You can actually buy, you know, Diddy, Dixie, and Cranky if you wanted to. But these things right here, these... Looks like it costs about 5. So essentially what happens is you just pretty much just pull a gotcha and get a bunch of these dumb little knickknacks. I'm not 100% sure if that technically counts toward 100% or not, but still, yeah, you have more things to spend money on. Now, here's the problem, though. Even though we beat or got to the secret level, there is just one issue. The level we played earlier is not technically finished, so if you want to go back and finish it, then you're going to have to do that. Now, that kind of puts a spring in my step and makes this game just a little bit harder to kind of figure out exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to go by feeling instead of just actual caring about, too much stuff. We're gonna play the way that just makes the most sense. If I find a secret level and it leads me to the next area, which probably won't skip a level, but still. If I find a secret level, unlocky thing or whatever, inside of a level, I will take it if I feel like it's just right there and I've already gotten to that point. So, unlike the original game with Returns, I already saw it, don't worry guys. I did see it. Unlike with Returns, I can't just buy secret levels anymore. I have to go find them. Which is not a bad thing, really. I don't mind the aspect of being able to find secret levels. I think it makes it a lot more fun and enjoyable when it's something that's kind of hidden about. It makes the game feel more like a technical, actual DKC game. Although I guess in this case, it's more so like on brand for Mario to do that with Super Mario World and such. Which that would be a game that I would like to do at one point. But I don't know about anytime soon. And that's the thing I kind of want to get back into real quick too is, what do I mean by last Let's Play? Well, I don't really mean that this is going to be the final Let's Play ever. I just mean that I kind of want to just take another slight hiatus from doing constant Let's Play stuff again. That, of course, potentially involves potential co-op stuff. Maybe yes or no. Who knows? Mostly, it's just going to involve me doing my own Let's Play so I can just, again, focus on things that technically need to be focused on more so often than just this. I like doing Let's Plays to a point, but when I start doing them too much, it becomes kind of a problem. And it also kind of affects other stuff outside that too, like co-op shit. Because I know, like, my friends do want to do co-op stuff, and honestly, like, I know they probably want to finish stuff too. However, I'm of the nature, especially nowadays, where it's like I don't like care too much if we finish a thing or not. Like I'm fine with just playing a game, and if it just happens to get finished, then so be it. Because that kind of happened this week, this last weekend was. My brother mentioned Nocturne, and I was like, all right. And then we went to go try to record Nocturne. I just immediately thought, like, oh, it's going to be like a fucking hour and a half recording. It's going to be this and this and this. It's just this whole big mess of, like, I just really don't want to record it right now. I'm all fine and dandy when it comes to, like, doing Mario Party stuff or whatever. Like, there's certain games I'm fine with doing, but I just don't really want to record Nocturne. I just don't feel in the mood. Like, I told him today, like, I mean, we both beat the game before. We don't need to prove anything. It just... We don't have to do it if need be, It's fine to just play it if we want to play it, rather than, playing it because we kind of feel like we're obligated to play it. And that's the worst way to do YouTube content, is if you ever feel obligated that you have to finish it or you have to do it. When you start feeling like you have to finish something, you should just take a break and not bother. You really should. Unless this is your job, which, I mean, good luck with that. But if this is not your job and it's just a hobby, just make it so, Just make it as such. You don't need to put all this crazy effort into things if you don't really feel like doing that. It's fine. Because, like, for me, I treat it like a hobby. I don't know how the hell they expect you to get back from that if you're just DK. Or anybody else besides Dixie on your back. Fucking weird platforming bit there. Oh, I thought I was going to fire for a second. And that's how I feel about it right now is... I'm getting that sensation of that slight YouTube bug again. I'm like, I don't know. I should probably, like, cut off the YouTube bug before it gets too strong again. Sometimes the YouTube bug hits in a different way. Sometimes it's just like, oh... Rather than being mad that I have to do things, or feel like I have to do things, it turns into, I want to do so much, to the point where I just overwhelm myself with all this crap. And usually what takes a turn for the worse is co-op content. Usually it's co-op content that I end up getting hit with that, because then it starts feeling like, oh, well, I have all this co-op content stuff, and I'm just not allowed to do my own content anymore. Like, I'm stuck having to do all this co-op stuff. And then that just kind of ruins that too, and it just goes all over the place. It's not good, right? So, yeah. I do just kind of want to do that. Again, co-op stuff will probably keep going for the most part. At least Mario Party, you know, I'm still invested in doing Mario Party. I'm fine with that. Nocturne, I don't know. Like, yeah, honestly, I should have just done it on my own instead of just making a co-op Let's Play. Persona 3, it's one of those that's like just, I don't know. I just forget that we keep doing it. There's so much shit I forgot we kept doing. Like, Mario Rabbids is a thing that we started, have yet to quote-unquote finish. But yet again, like I said a minute ago, we don't really need to do that. It's perfectly fine and perfectly suitable to not have to finish something. And technically, same thing goes with my normal Let's Plays. I usually try to finish everything I can, but if I just can't bring myself to do it, then fuck it. Now, of course, there are exceptions, like Paper Mario, for example. Like, I want to finish it, not because I want to finish Paper Mario 2, but just because it was part of my 2017 lineup project, and it's like, well, I could just at least do it and have a second project on YouTube finished for the sake of finishing a second project. Also, by the way, Cranky comes with a nice little equipment thing where he can just do this. Yes, he can jump on spikes. However, you have to double tap A to do that. You can't just have DK jump like normal. It has to be specifically Cranky's doing to make you, you know, avoid all that. I could have sworn there was like a thing there that you can get, but probably not. Yeah, Cranky, obviously you have to double tap A to use him. That's just gonna happen. Also, yeah, I forgot he can pierce enemies. He can pierce Morgan enemies. Weird. I could go ahead and just use his ability now, but there's not enough enemies to really truly mess with it. I think this one gives me a puzzle piece. Yep. But yeah, anyway, don't worry too much about me finishing or not things. I thought that would lead me to a bonus area. I was wrong. By the way, this is not 100%. You know, it's just like it was last time with returns. It's not 100%. So, don't worry your pretty little heads too much about it. About me missing whatever. Anything else I can probably bring up? I guess technically yes. So, if you guys are familiar, I have a series on my channel called, well, Beating the Self. I kind of don't like the name anymore, but that's fine. Essentially, it's a series in which I'll play a fighting game. I'll fight a CPU on the hardest difficulty. It has to be the CPU that matches my character that I picked. And when I first started it up, my friend, let's just be real, he got, it seemed like he thought it was really cool. And he was like, oh, that's a cool idea. Then he was like, I want to do that too, but not exact. Like, my idea gave him the idea of doing his own thing, which was essentially, like, heavily inspired by my idea, of course. But essentially what it was, you know, we do like a mirror match with characters, and we just fight each other. Like, it's a human versus human thing. And we did start that up because I wanted to do a Smash version of Beating the Self. I want to do Smashing the Self. Sometimes I title it a different thing depending on the game. Sometimes I don't. Just depends. But if it has a good enough name for it. I wanted to do one so bad for a while, and then I just, without really too much trouble, convinced my friend, like, hey, let's just start that mirror match thing, you know, try to figure out a name or whatever. And honestly, like, it's kind of hard to figure out a name, but at the very least, mirror matched works just fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. As long as the name sounds nice and just, you know, gets the point across, like, it's fine to have. whatever it is. I'm not trying to say, like, I'm not trying to sneak this or something and say, like, oh, it's a bad name. That's not the case. For anybody that thinks that, it's not the case. I actually do genuinely kind of like the name a little bit. Or, well, more than a little bit. I like it enough. I like it. Because, you know, it doesn't have to be a 3-word thing like mine is, right? So that took a bit to kind of figure it out, but we just kind of stuck with that. But yeah, it's going to be on his channel. It's going to be on his other Take Chrono channel, which used to be called Take Chrono Plus, and then he got rid of the Plus, so now he is currently known as Take Chrono Minus. Kind of a weird name scheme, if you ask me. I don't know why he would change it to that, but... of course, you can find it in the usual places, as in on my actual channel. I may or may not link his thing in the description to make it easier for people to find that, but basically go find... Oh, God, this might be dated by the time you guys find it. Hell, he might have changed his fucking channel name by the time I tell you. He might just fucking move channels by now, I don't know. I was gonna say, like, I could always technically link it, but it's Take Chrono with nothing else added to it. And it's got an image of a panda, but just like really strangely up close version of it. I think he forgot to crop it when he changed his thing for some reason. Oh yeah, because he was DK, which I'm pretty sure he got that idea from my artist profile picture, which is Cranky Kong. He'll probably say that he didn't get it from there, but let's be honest. I mean, I'm pretty fucking sure it had to have come from that. Because he didn't have that profile picture until after I did my pics of stuff. I know, I remember these things. Just like I remembered, like, I used to main Jason back on MKX. And I think he's trying to gaslight me into thinking that never happened, which I actually have proof. So, nice try. Trying to say that he mained him. Like, bullshit. Bullshit. I saw the video. Which, unfortunately for you guys, you can't see it because there was something in the video that, not that we said, just was shown on screen. I'm like, oof. Probably don't want to see that anymore. Why did all of a sudden Jason Momoa... Oh, I know why I can't away because I said Jason. That's why. Like, why did I all of a sudden think of Jason Momoa all of a sudden? Also, there's a lot more... Well, there's technically, I feel like there's like a lot more silhouette sections, which I do like how this game does the silhouettes a bit differently now, where essentially it shows both colors of your character. I mean, it did that before, but like instead of just being flat out red, like, you know, with Diddy and Donkey Kong, now it's just straight up, you know, Dixie or Cranky or whatever color, depending. I think Cranky would just be yellow. I already have full hearts, I'm fine. But anyway, yeah, that's the thing. And don't worry, the mirror match thing, for those that are curious, is it straight up, you know, copying off me? Well, not necessarily, because... It's not necessarily copying off my content fully, because, I mean, it is relatively different. Like, mirror matches they've been a thing before. It's not anything new. The only difference now is that we're fighting each other and we know each other, but that's probably been done before too. But we're also doing it slightly how I do my series, where we just do 2 out of 3 every character, which there might not be a lot of channels or a lot of videos that have done that before. I'm not sure. Hell, I'm not even 100% sure if my beating the self is even like remotely unique anyway, so... But I didn't intend for it to be non-unique. I intended it for it to be whatever it was. And it just is what it is. So for those that are worried, if I'm thinking like, you know, that's just straight up, you know, copy my content or whatever. Not necessarily. So if you're curious about that, yeah, I would say, Because the other thing too, like if somebody's gonna copy me, I would rather them tell me, like, oh, I liked your idea so much, I'm inspired by it. I want to do something kind of like it too. I want to take your homework, but change it up so it doesn't make it look obvious. It's like, all right, as long as somebody tells me that that's what they're doing, rather than just being a dick about it and just flat out just taking ideas or even just doing the same exact routine that I do, just because that's when it gets weird. I've told this story a million times before, I feel, but I have a cousin that used to do dumb shit like that. Like, you'd play fighting games with him or whatever, and then he would just take your main and beat you with him. Because, in all fairness, he was, in all technicality, pretty damn decent at fighting games, like especially Smash and stuff. And, well, he didn't really do it a lot to me, like main-wise, but he did it to my brother once, where my brother would main Ike. And all of a sudden, my cousin would just start maining Ike, just to kind of get back at him, because he's an easy target to pick on. And I think that's kind of douchey, I think shit like that's kind of douchey. That's what kind of made me just evolve into this guy that does not like people getting into the same stuff that he did for like a while, because like I'd watch something or whatever, and then he would watch it too. It's one thing if it's like, oh well, I'm genuinely interested in the same thing that you have because it looks cool, It's more of like, I'm only interested because you're interested, and I want to be just like you. It's like, that's not good. You should just be your own person, You really fucking should. Always. Well, anyway, minecart sections. I missed the fucking K again. God damn it. Oh well. We're not going for 100%, so it's fine. I didn't miss the K the first time. Yeah, it was the puzzle piece I missed. Also, I think it's just my TV, but it always looks so fucking blurry in motion. I think it's my TV. I'm looking out, God, it looks somewhat okay. I already missed the K. But yeah, how far copying is too far? Well, like I said, doing close to the same type of shit that I do. Whether or not you change it up slightly, but like around the same time that I do. Like, say for instance, I do Tekken 2 arcade, and the next thing I know, somebody I know is doing like, Tekken 3 arcade, just around the same time, like uncoincidentally, trying to, like, I guess, be better because they're doing a better one or something, quote unquote. Which, I mean, at that point, you could also argue, well, that's just a complete coincidence. But then there's also, if I go on break, then all of a sudden, like, everyone else does. Because I guess, their true competition's gone. I guess you could say. That's... Yeah, and it makes it even worse when it's like I said, when they don't acknowledge you at all. They just... Somebody says that they do something, like they have like thumbnails that are close to yours in some regard, or they have like a naming scheme close to yours in some regard. Which, I mean, granted, it's fucking YouTube. Like, everybody copies everybody in some way, shape, or form, of course. Like, I'm a Let's Player, that's kind of the thing. I'm just saying that, if you know them personally, they could be a problem. Because then it feels more like, well, that you're personally being attacked, I guess you could say. And that's how it felt with somebody else I knew, actually. Which, that's not really a fun person to really talk about at all. But there was somebody, not in the regard of copying everything I did, but just more so, just an absolute fucking menace of a douche, to put it lightly. Basically would make... Okay, because this happened to me too, since we're on the topic of copying shit. Like, it was a while ago, as I stopped talking to this person because of this, this dumb bullshit competition feel. Because I hate the idea that people need to feel like they need to compete with me. It's so dumb. Basically, this guy I met, became kind of buddies with for a bit. Didn't know how much of a douche he was at first, but found out pretty fast, I guess you could say. I told him that I did YouTube content. And then, next thing I know, he's doing YouTube content. But of course, his YouTube content makes more views and more subs than mine. And then it's just like a constant, like, I'm not doing this for competition, man. I'm not doing this to be competitive, man. Like, I just have better stuff than you, that type of shit. That really got to me for a while. That's what, that's partly why I stopped. I was gonna say, I would go for the hard buy when I get one. That's actually partly why I stopped doing 2019, or why I quit YouTube for like 2 years. Yeah, 2 fucking full-ass years. I stopped doing YouTube content because I had somebody who was just a big, giant douche about, doing something that I do, but like you can clearly tell. That's what I mean by like being personal. It's like when they do it when they know you. It's one thing like if I accidentally copy off Chugga, or hell, even to an extent, straight up just inspired by his work, or hell, straight up just copy what he decides to do, right? Like I don't know him personally. Like, of course, copying is never good, regardless of whether or not you know them personally or not, but still. Like the Irate Gamer, for example. He copied, AVGN back then. It's funny, I'm still going on this fucking tangent. I'm just putting it out there, just saying that, I just don't like that type of stuff. I don't like it, well, when it's too obvious and upfront and personal. Because like I said, then it feels like it actually is a personal attack. Like they're doing it just to piss you off. And I'm pretty sure that buddy I was talking about, definitely was probably doing it just to fucking get under my skin. No doubt about it. Honestly, like, I think Dixie is probably, like, one of the best bets to a fight like this. Also, I believe these guys will eventually fall off. Like, back into the water. I think. Yeah, I was gonna say. I forget what else I was gonna talk about. I don't know. There's nothing really inherently I can say besides competition's good, but not when you're doing it to your friend just to make them mad or whatever. Like, that's just not good. And gatekeeping, we need to do more of that. People need to gatekeep more often. Because normies get to this shit, and man, do they suck. Oh yeah, they changed out the Tiki guys. These ass wipes that you punch down instead. But anyway, I'm sorry about talking about all this stupid shit that doesn't need to be talked about, but I figured, I probably should just lighten the air a little bit about it. About my overall thoughts and feelings about things. And like I said, current content on different channels. Now, will I be continuing other co-op stuff on other channels besides, like, outside of this mirror match thing I was talking about? I don't know. Probably not. I feel like if I keep doing stuff on other people's channels, then it's like I feel obligated to go finish on them because, they want it to be done. And then I feel like I'm kind of like pushing down or letting other people down if I don't jump in the fray to do insert whatever let's play here for the day. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for DK1. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all next time for some more DK Tropical Freeze. As always, by the way, DK1 meaning episode 1. Anyway, as always, take care, everybody.